But you must have another foundation within yourself, a foundation of knowledge. Then you can build a shield. Then you can prevent penetration. Then you can disassociate yourself from the part of your mind that is being stimulated. Even if someone were to paralyze you physically so that you could not move, you could still see and know them and discern them. Even if there were an attempt to erase your memory, as often occurs to people taken against their will by forces who are intervening in the world, you could recall your memory through knowledge. It is only the surface of your mind that can be controlled here. But if you live at the surface, and if you identify yourself with your ideas at the surface of your mind, then you will feel that you yourself are being controlled and manipulated. And you will be controlled and manipulated by the influences of friends and family, by commercial forces, and by the bombardment of the images you experience as soon as you leave your home. It is a very important thing, then, to understand the skill that has been developed in the mental environment and to recognize that it is the power of knowledge that can offset it. You can create counter-movements in the mental environment, but it takes tremendous energy, and it is not expected that you have developed such skills. But you need to learn how to shield your mind, particularly if you are near a greater community presence. Since the greater community is a presence in your world, it is something you may well encounter. This is what enables you to be without fear when facing danger. This is what enables you to respond in an emergency, to do what is needed and appropriate without concern for yourself. This is the power of knowledge. This is what enables you to mount tremendous effort under dire circumstances to save someone's life, to save your life, or to do something else that is required for the well-being of others. This is the power of knowledge. It is what takes you beyond your mind, your thinking, your conditioning, and the influence of the mental environment that you live in. This is the power of knowledge. Others are inspired in spite of their ideas and beliefs, in spite of their fears, because knowledge has touched them. Knowledge within you has touched them. When you read the briefings that have been sent from the allies of humanity, you can recognize the intention behind their communications. It is inspiring. Even though their message is difficult to receive and may frighten your mind, it is inspiring because of the knowledge that it represents and the high regard for humanity this represents. Your allies will not come to save you. They will not mount an effort to come and save you. They will not betray the secrecy in which they live. They will not enter warfare with other nations on your behalf, and thus destroy everything it has taken for them to develop and to secure their anonymity in the universe. But their inspiration is important because it speaks to your experience. It speaks to knowledge within you. This is the power of inspiration that can break the hold of the mental environment, that can break the hold of persuasion, and that can break the hold of addiction. If you are to be powerful as a people in the greater community, you must look upon these things with great sobriety, not with hope and not with fear, but with knowledge. Not wishing, believing and hoping that everything will turn out right, and not with the fear that you will be overwhelmed and cannot respond. It is a different kind of position within yourself. It is a position you take in a house on fire when you must save people. You jump into action. You are not thinking about hope or fear. You are responding to a situation, doing whatever you can to help. Many people have had this experience. It represents a great state of objectivity. It is not aggressive. It is not destructive. But it is very different from your normal experience. It is this awareness that you must cultivate and support in yourself and others, and bring to bear regarding your own understanding of the greater community. Without fear, without ambition, without wishful thinking, you can see things clearly, if you look, if you are patient, if you take time. There are no quick answers if you are seeking a deeper experience. Others will try to influence you, and this influence is underway even at this moment from others in the greater community. Will you be able to recognize this influence? Will you be able to recognize, with objectivity, your own ambitions that will be preyed upon and your own fears that will be preyed upon? If you feel helpless and hopeless, that can be preyed upon. If you secretly desire power and advantage, that can be preyed upon. If you know your own mind, you will see where it is most vulnerable to persuasion and how it responds to this persuasion. You will have a choice then in how to respond, instead of being swept away and finding yourself in a bad state all of a sudden, not knowing how you got there. Despite the restraints and the difficulties of life in the greater community, it is a magnificent creation. What can be seen and experienced there is marvelous. It is nature on a grand scale. It is life expressing itself through an unbelievable panorama of forms and expressions. It is something that will move you deeply, for at a certain level, you are connected to this greater reality, this greater panorama of life. The wisdom that can be gained from the greater community is immense and immensely practical and relevant to everything you do and everything you will need to do in the future. The spirituality of the greater community is the way of knowledge in its purest, most essential form. This is a source of inspiration because this reminds you that you're greater than your mind or your body, that you have a greater purpose in life, and that the events of your life will give you an opportunity to experience and to express this purpose, which would never arise under more quiescent and normal circumstances. Your connection to life beyond this world, which is innate within you, is part of this purpose. You have only to be patient and take the steps to knowledge to allow the pieces of the puzzle to come together, as they most surely will. Yet if you are reckless and impatient and try to fill in all of the spaces yourself, you will not see the picture that is waiting for you to discover. The greater community is an experience. It contains everything that is marvelous and everything that is difficult, everything that is true and everything that is deceptive, everything that is wondrous and everything that is dreadful. But you must have great sobriety to approach this, to see with clear eyes, to see without preference, to see what you're looking at and to allow knowledge to give you the indication if something is good for you or not and how you should respond. Humanity already has a great promise to be a race that is strong with knowledge. You have been able to maintain your religious traditions. The way of knowledge is not foreign or unknown to you. It is part of your religious traditions. It is part of your worldly experience. In general, primitive peoples are closer to knowledge than technologically advanced races. But knowledge is there nonetheless. If you know you are not your mind and can view your mind objectively and step back from your thoughts and feelings, then you have achieved a greater skill. A skill you will need with ever greater regularity as the world around you becomes more difficult, as the great waves of change break upon your shores, creating increasing instability and insecurity. In human societies and the world around you, you will need this inner strength. It must be strong enough not to fail you in your greatest moments of fear, doubt or anxiety. And you must withstand the inducements and seductions of the greater community that are being placed upon humanity at this time by small groups of intervening forces. This is the greatest opportunity you have to fulfill your mission here, to discover your greater power, to discover your connection to God, and to find your most potent forms of service to humanity and to the world. In adversity, you find your greatest strengths. Your higher purpose is called out of you facing situations you would rather avoid. If you seek only pleasure, comfort and security, what is great within you will not emerge, and you will neglect or avoid those circumstances that could call it forth from you. You will succumb to the mental environment and to the persuasions that exist there, following the expectations and demands of others, not even knowing where your thoughts come from and how they are being influenced. Your practice in dealing with the greater community happens right in your own home, in your sphere of friends, in your sphere of relationships. Where you work, wherever you participate with others, there is a unique mental environment in that situation. Every home has a unique mental environment because it is created by the intelligences that reside there. It is a part of life. It is an integral part of life. And it becomes a greater part of your life as you advance and progress and gain an understanding of the greater community all around you. The presence of these unseen forces gathers where knowledge is being experienced and expressed. Those who have become close to knowledge, who have taken the steps to knowledge, they will feel this presence.